Hey guys, so what we're going to talk about today are endings for your story, and a lot of you have been asking me how do you end your story, which is a fabulous question because I struggle with that too. But I do know that we have a couple tools that we can look at, and I'm just going to show you on this video how I decided to make my ending that I already wrote even better. So one thing I noticed when I was looking at a lot of your stories is that at the very end, a lot of you did something awesome. You thought about what your story was really about, and then you added something at the end to show that, kind of like how I did. If you notice right here, I said I shouldn't have been so foolish. This is the Jenny story still, my personal narrative one. And I knew that what my story was really about was that I didn't have to go through these hard times alone. So I just said it outright. I said I shouldn't have been so foolish. I had people to help me and her all along. I was not alone. And then at the very end, I just say I realized she had more than just me to protect her, and I realized I didn't have to carry this burden alone. And then I say that I can go back out to the kickball game. Done. But I noticed that I have so much buildup throughout this whole story. I'm like, I got all these sensory details: gripping the door handle, ice of the metal making me shudder. I walk into the living room and I see her with her red hair. All of that good detail is awesome. And then at the end, it just kind of drops off. It's just over. And I want to make that better. I think there's a way that I can make it better. So if I look at the checklist, I went back and I looked and I noticed something underneath the box that I had used last time. So last time when I went to go make my ending better, I looked at this box in the 6th grade checklist. It said, I wrote an ending that connected to what the story was really about. Check. I'm done with that. But if I look below that box right here, I notice something else. It says, I gave readers a sense of closure by showing a new realization, insight, or change in a character or narrator. I do think that I have a new realization, an insight, or a change because I talk about how I learned something. But I don't think that I actually showed it. I think instead I just told the audience or the readers. Take a look what I mean. When I look back at this, I said, I shouldn't have been so foolish. I had people to help me, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking about what I learned. I don't show it at all. So I think that's something that I could do to improve my writing. So that's what I'm just going to do on the screen for you today. So in thinking about doing this, I want to kind of make myself a plan. So I know that if I'm going to show something, we've been talking a lot about this, I want to use things like sensory details or actions or thoughts or feelings. I think the most powerful endings I've read use these two things right here, sensory details and actions. So that's what I'm going to try to do in my story to show, and rather than tell, that I realized something about life, really, about that I didn't have to do it alone. So when I go back here, I'm trying to think where I should probably cut it off. So I have right here, I said I was looking for her. I tell my uncle we got action. We have action still, which is good. He nods to me and puts a finger up to his lips. That's good. That's action. Suddenly I don't know what to do. These are thoughts. That's good. Up until now, I was convinced that I was the only one helping or even keeping an eye out for Jenny. I think this is probably the part that I want to chop. So I'm just going to press enter. I'm not going to delete it because I may want to bring it back later. But I'm just going to press enter and just kind of pretend like this is my new ending. So suddenly I don't know what to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself inside of this moment, okay? So at this moment, I'm trying to think about what I was feeling, and I know that after I was like so panicked that I needed to go find Jenny, that all of a sudden I didn't need to find her anymore. So I felt awkward, so I want to put that in. Suddenly I don't know what to do. I stand awkwardly. Remember, I was right behind the couch where Jenny was sleeping. Stand awkwardly next to the couch, watching the football replays silently flickering on the screen. I am not interested in the football at all, but I came in here with such purpose. I didn't know how to make my exit. Let's see. So suddenly I don't know what to do. I stand awkwardly next to the couch, watching the football replay silently flickering on screen. I'm not interested in the football at all. But I came in here with such purpose. I don't know how to make my exit. Um, let's see. At some point, I need to decide that I'm going to go outside because I think I want to end it at the kickball game. So let's see. Again, I want to show that I realize I don't have to do this alone and that I'm not alone and that it's not all on my shoulders. So let's see. Maybe I make a cup. No, that's too vague. I might say I turn around and look outside. My family is still playing kickball. Okay, I'm just going to add dialogue. I'm going to go back outside. My uncle nods. And I turn and walk out of the door. It's getting, I'm going to do a new paragraph because I'm kind of changing modes here that I'm talking about walking outside rather than being in the house. So I'm going to say, it's getting dark and I still want to play, want to have time to play. So I'm still putting some inner thoughts in here. So I start running. Again, I felt so burdened on my way in. I want to show that it's different now, kind of just through sensory details. I feel light as a bird oh, this is the part that I was going to take out. As I run towards the game, the wind blowing into my face. I run up to the plate and my cousin shouts, "Where were you?" And then I think I might want to say, actually no, they're not going to say that. I don't know exactly what they say, I can't remember, but I do want to show that I'm okay now and I wasn't okay before. So I'm just going to have my cousin say, "Jean, are you okay?" And then, "Where were you?" I'm just going to say, no, I don't want to laugh, that's too cheesy. I'm just going to say, "I'm great," I'm going to say, because I'm showing that I'm better now. Who's up? You. Who's up to the plate? You. I laugh and step back to get, and I prepare to get back into the game. Maybe, or I might change this too, but you get the idea. So now let's see, I kind of want to look back at this. So I added a bunch of, instead of having this, just this ending where I start talking about how I felt, or not really, I'm not even talking about how I felt, I'm just stating things. I wanted to show it, and so instead I replaced it with all these actions and illustrating that I was feeling awkward and I go back outside, and now I'm just showing it, showing that I'm fine by dialogue and actions, which we're already really good at. So today, when you go and write your ending on your Chromebook, be thinking about how can you write your ending with these details that we've been talking about the whole unit: sensory details, actions, thoughts, and feelings. Rather than telling your ending, try and show it. But I love that you guys are connecting it back to what it's really about. Let's just try to use these today. So to answer our question about how do you write an ending, really good ending, the answer is to show what the story is really about with everything we've been doing before: sensory details, actions, thoughts, feelings, and dialogue.